Alright, we clamped our pattern right down onto our stainless sheet. We'll probably be sliding the stainless sheet back because I think I want to cut a sample out of an 1/8 inch piece of steel to get the feel that our pattern is going to work on all 4 sides. I've taken side B, which was off of B rudder, and side A, which was off of A rudder, and I went ahead and I put them face to face and I held them up to the light, and they looked to be exactly the same within a Sharpie line width from each other, which is, I'm happy about that. Now we know that this was an outline of the whole diameter. This leading edge on the front of the rudder is going to be pretty close to right at the front of the rudder. Now this trailing edge does not go all the way back because that thing is feathering down to that last 1/8 of an inch of web there. So we've got to take a look at these 3 points right here and where they come in and diminish. If the sheet was coming down and as soon as it touches that 1/8 of an inch, that's where it's got to end, and then that's where the weld bead's going to be in here, and then it's going to transition into that 1/8 thickness for the trailing edge. Alright, so we got to look at the rudder right now and see where that point is and decide where this rear transition is going to be, and where we're going to cut this pattern down the thickness there. The pattern's not going to go all the way out to the edge, because then you would have 3 layers at the trailing edge. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I've taken a line, like we created this line by taking this off of the drawing, and of course I did the same thing to make this line as to try to figure out this next, or the outside sheet, which it told me 15 1/4. Okay, 15 1/4 would come right to there. Alright, now this is what I want, because now we've got our shape. We have to make it fit what we have here. So sliding this scale down until I see it just touching that edge right there. Right there. Almost 300,000ths of an inch longer than what I see on the actual drawing, which is very, very close for figuring stack ups and welding this thing together, for how shallow this ramp or this taper is at that point. And we want it to flow out. Now there'll be a weld there, and then that feathers into this 1/8 of an inch here. So this really this trailing edge right here actually might have a couple different passes of weld on here to get that transition perfectly smooth. We'll see how we're actually going to leave this at the end here. It actually might be better to go ahead and actually take it right to now. Half a dozen of the other. You know, that's almost 3/4 of an inch there. And then a weld, what do we got here? See, we'd have a weld similar to this if we leave it in here. And we don't want it to be lifting too much, and we definitely want a nice weld in there. Let's actually see. Okay, that looks like right there. I'm going to check this one here. That looks like right there. Right there. They're all pretty close to the same. There's 700, 700, 700. Alright, I think I'm going to go with that. That's a straight. Then we're going to have a weld bead in here, and then that'll be transitioned right into that trailing edge right there. I think that's going to be as close as we can possibly get to the true foil shape that our customer's given us. We didn't really have a piece of 1/8" steel that would get the entire rudder, and I really did want to have the whole section of the rudder. What we did is this is the piece of sheet that we had, and we were cutting the internal parts out of, and it just happens to have an area that's just big enough. I didn't think it was, but we're going to go ahead, and that way our test piece or our practice piece, if it comes out fine, then it will be one of our pieces, and then the full sheet that we have set up to cut our 4 sides out of, we will be able to leave a good chunk of that sheet plain to save room and have material at our disposal in a larger source than we have right here on this piece here. Alright, let's get a little bit of ventilation here. Yeah, it definitely is a little bit fast, so we were getting high-speed dross on the top. Then slowed it down from 40 to 30, and she was cutting really nice. Got a nice edge all the way around there. Alright, she's cool, but she's warm out the edges. We're going to let it just cool just a bit, and we'll get it out, and we're going to dress the outside edge of it, and then we'll start seeing about laying it on the rudder and seeing how it looks. Alright, we went ahead and took a pair of scissors and we cut these out so that we could definitely put one right on the other. And they are so close to each other that it's about a Sharpie line width. Alright, so we've also taken the hard piece that we cut and laid it on each of the rudders, and it looks like a pretty good go. To go ahead and create all 4 of them off of a pattern, and of course I will go ahead and mirror right and left just because we have a little bit better side up here on the plate there, so I want to keep that up there. So we're going to cut out one like that, and probably two like that. Actually, this will be here, and then we're going to cut one like this and one like that. All right, here goes our 3 other skins we're going to do. We got these things staggered, and we're actually going to do 1, 2, 3 straight across the sheet right here. All right, let me get some draft going here. Here we go. Seems to be the best cut. There's a little bit of height. It pops off, but it's there. dump it and clean them up. All right, we took our templates, we cut them out, and we put them back to back, and we know that we're within 1 Sharpie width on the line away from them matching, and we went ahead and we've cut out our other 3 pieces, and we're taking one at a time and setting it up here. This is kind of nice wood platform here, and we're going to go ahead and put a series of punch marks intersecting at these lines here to center a 5-hole pattern in on each one of these ribs following the center. We're going to be 2 inches back from our leading edge for the first one, and then they'll come back. This last one here, I specifically checked out exactly where I wanted those to land, and then we just divided the 4 sections in here, marking our 3 holes, top, bottom, took a line, cross intersected so that we had the center ones, and we have uniform pattern, and we went ahead and marked both of these because we're going to mark these on our face. We kind of picked our faces so that we have the nicest part of the project sticking out, so we don't have to work so hard on getting a nice finish when we're all done, or keeping a nice finish anyway. All right, and we're on a B, another B here, and we're going to be doing, let's see, a B or an A. Okay, this definitely is a B, and our other 2 are going to be A's. I had to go over on the table because I had 2 of them laying over there. One was upside down, so I was going, wait a minute, I need a B. And that side is definitely better than that side. And back to plan B. All right. So this leading edge stays the same. And then I kind of just feel under the lip here of spacing out, and it's almost 3/16 of an inch on each edge here. That feels pretty good. Like I said, it's not 100% super important. We got an inch and a half here. Now the holes we're going to do 1/4 inch, and then we're going to countersink them slightly, and then by time I come in on this 1/8 inch thick plate, penetrate the band itself on the inside, and then come out and rosette weld this plate to the strut or the rib. My penetration is going to be about a 3/8 diameter, and from my past experience, that is about what I get on them. Alright, now we go ahead and I just put a circle so it's easy observation to find these holes quickly when you're drilling them out freehand. We're probably going to go in there, we're going to set up a piece of plywood on the drill press, and then we can slide these things around. We're just going to come down and we're going to drill through each one of these. Alright, I got 2 more plates to do, and we'll get in there and start drilling them. Okay, Sunday, I said take it easy, okay, so I got me a chair. Let me get in the right position here. And I think we're good. Alright, I just got a piece of wood on it here. Without any oil fiberglass is no problem with stainless steel. You want to go slow anyway. If you set everything up right, you don't really have to do a whole bunch of moving or anything. Alright, you get the gist of it. I'm going to go turn the radio on so I can crank some tunes while I'm doing all these holes. And we'll catch you up when it comes time to countersink these. Alright, we put in our countersink and we slowed the speed down a little bit. We just shifted our drive-all gearbox back there. So it's a little slower than we were doing. And here again, no coolant. We're just coming down, we're giving a little bit of a relief there, another little plunge. Just enough to really break that sharp corner, and you'll be able to get the tungsten down in there and get a fusion going on the support rib before you start getting the plate material here. Or simultaneously anyway for attack. These would be cleaner and a little smoother if I had cutting oil on here, but I want to keep the cutting oils off of this because of the welding. We are going to be cleaning it up with some acetone and stuff, but I just think a better chance of it staying dry and clean